Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Elden Ring. I'm literally grinning right now because this boss is so sick, and I'm so eager to help you kill it. So this is Lichdragon Fortissax. This boss is only accessible if you have been following along Ranni's questline as well as Fia's questline, although they diverge at this point. You need to have recovered the Curse Mark of Death from the Divine Tower of Liurnia. I have a full walkthrough for how to access that. It is quite long, so that's its own video. To get down here to Fia, you need access to Nokron. In order to do that, you need to have defeated General Radahn, and then a new area will have opened up just near the Mistwood in Limgrave, and then you could venture through Nokron and Nokstella and get to this area, which is a really long journey, and I'm going to make a separate guide for it. But once you reach Fia, you want to give her the Curse Mark of Death, and then keep exhausting her dialogue and reloading your game until she tells you that she is going to bed with Godwyn, and then reload one more time, and she will allow you to access the dream that she is in, and then you can fight Lichdragon Fortissax. It's a really long quest line. I'll have like a full video on the whole Nokron thing coming out soon. I'll link it in the description below when that's ready. But for now, let's go over the boss and get started. Lichdragon Fortissax begins the fight by summoning lightning down to the ground, and when lightning strikes in these locations, instant death clouds will spawn, and if your instant death meter builds up all the way, you will die. So don't let that happen. While that's happening, though, the boss is somewhat idle, at least in the beginning of the fight for the first time. So you can rush in, get some damage going, and then move out. You do want to be careful, though, because the boss can fly away and breathe fire straight down on you. You really don't want to be in the middle of that, because that can one-shot you if you're basically dead center. I've had it happen to me. While the boss is attacking as you're under it, you got to watch out for when it slams its hands into the ground. When that happens, most of the time there's going to be a charge behind it, which will cause lightning to arc back to you. This happens in waves. It's going to happen right here. So it splits kind of in 4 directions primarily. So you got to look for the diagonal to either roll through or walk through. I actually don't really recommend trying to roll through the lightning. The arc is wide and tall, so there's a chance that it can hit you even on the way down. You'll see here that I'm only going in for maybe 4 attacks maximum when I'm behind the boss, because I need to be able to walk away safely to get the mark of lightning off of me so it strikes when I'm not there. So that's my strategy. I'm just going in for a few hits. Once I start to get the feeling that the mark is going to drop off, I'll move away and then reset and move in. So you see there, the lightning splits in 4 directions, but the arcs are wide and tall, so you really can't, just roll through it unless your timing is perfect. So just keep that in mind. After a while, the boss will start flying around, and then it can do a couple of attacks. It can either just breathe fire, and that's great, you can just avoid that. Or what it'll do is some sort of lightning attack. So it's going to happen here in a moment. The boss gets a sword occasionally of lightning. It can summon one. Usually you'll see this happening in front of you. That's really the only time he's done it to me while I was underneath him. I think it happened once or twice. So that's pretty rare. But that sword will usually come out while the boss is in the air. So he's going to fly up here, and then this is just a reposition. So he's trying to get us to run into the cursed clouds. When you see the dragon fly up and start to snake its neck, the sword is coming out. You can just roll through that. It's a little hard to see because of the lighting effects, but basically you just want to roll super late. It is possible. I believe I do it in this video, so just keep that in mind. It is hard though, but it is rollable, or you can just block it. If you have a shield that will block lightning as well as physical, go ahead and equip that, as long as it's not going to weigh you down too much or change how you like to roll. That is a decent strategy. It is just lightning damage and physical, unless you count the instant death, which you just don't want to be anywhere near. And of course, fire from the breath, but he uses so few fire attacks that those are easily avoided. The boss will sometimes just start crawling to you. If that happens, I don't recommend running in trying to get damage. Instead, I recommend just waiting it out and seeing what happens, because sometimes he'll fly up, get a sword, and start chasing you. So you saw there, I rolled through it. As long as your spacing is decent, it's much easier to see. The last time I was just too close and I couldn't tell what was going on. But it is rollable. So the boss is summoning down the instant death lightning. Again, just do your best to walk while the mark of lightning is on you. If you're able to, avoid that 4-split lightning arc. That's kind of tough to do, especially when you're close range. But you can always tell it's happening because the ground will light up while you are attacking the boss. If that starts to happen, an attack is coming. So you saw he did it twice there. The tell for when he has the sword whilst on the ground is that he will begin to pivot while doing those slams. If the boss begins to pivot while you were under him, like Ross from Friends, that means he has the sword and he's going to use it and start pivoting around and slamming it twice and creating multiple lightning arcs. So just be careful with that, but look out for the pivot. If he's not pivoting, then you don't have to worry. It's just a typical slam. All right, so we only have 1 hit left on the boss, and I'm just doing my best to stay alive because I was at this point once before and died. I couldn't actually tell what was happening there. I was certain the boss was breathing fire, but he actually had the lightning sword, so I made a mistake there. But if you're ever afraid, just do your best to run out. Try to keep an eye on the boss. Do your best, but it's better to run out and then just wait, reposition, and then go back in, even if it's just for that one last hit. So you heard in the background, that was my exclamation. I accidentally left my microphone open when recording this as I was streaming. So usually I separate the two and just have a standalone recording of the footage in 4K HDR while I'm streaming in 1080p, but I mute the microphone in that other application. Totally forgot to do that, so some of these videos have me talking. That's why they're very quiet. But you heard my exclamation. This is the craziest boss I've done so far in this game. It stinks that it's a little hidden, frankly, but it's so worth doing the quests to get to it. The quests themselves are fun. They open up new areas. They're great to do, and of course, they result in this. And that's it. That is Lichdragon Fortissax. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Remembrance of Lichdragon Fortissax. Lichdragon Fortissax. Hewn into the Erd Tree. After Godwyn the Golden became the Prince of Death, the ancient dragon fought long and hard against the death within its